So let's go on from one silly topic to another silly topic. Let's talk about the border crisis that our president has so graciously shut our government down in a record-setting fashion. I think we're on day 20. We'll be on day 28, maybe, once this posts on Friday. Yeah. So Trump and his cronies, and you know who his cronies are. I'm not going to explain it. You should know by now who his cronies are. Trump has come out on last Tuesday, January the 8th. He had an address to the nation from the Oval Office explaining how this is a crisis, and this could also he thinks that he could call this a national emergency, and it is a big deal and a big crisis with the border, the southern border. I would like to point out here, it's a great use of this because he gets his cronies who go on TV and decide to shuffle in people. And these are people that had lost their children. These are parents of children that they lost to illegal immigrants. And I understand these people had to sign on to this. And a parent losing their kid is a tragedy, and it's horrible. But the fact that you have them shuffled in a semicircle like it is a group therapy session on TV, on cable news, have them shuffled out there and exploit them to push a narrative of a crisis is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And I get it. These parents have to sign off on this. And you know what's sad is these parents are exploited. They are, because they are in a grieving process. They have to deal with the fact that they lost a child, and they're shuffled onto this stage and with a bunch of other parents in this situation, and they're being exploited so you can justify our president making up a lie that is a crisis on the border. If this was such a crisis, explain to me why people crossing the border and getting into our country, it's down. It's gone on a downturn since the Bush administration. And then this whole idea that, walls work because people have walls around their homes. And Obama called it a crisis. Obama may have called it a crisis, but he didn't shut down the government for a lie. And when he did shut down the government for 17 days, which everybody wants to point out, it was for health care.
Yeah, bitch, for health care. So your grandma could check her blood pressure, and you bitches could go check your pussy in the gynecologist with no motherfucking problem.
Despite your opinions on Obamacare, health care is a legitimate thing we need to be talking about and worried about, not a fake border crisis. I'm not someone that doesn't believe that we should have a strong border and we should do better, be better about how we get people across. A better path to citizenship is what I believe in. I don't understand this idea that we make up some sort of narrative that there's a border crisis. And that we have 90% of heroin is from across the border that gets in through ports of entry. It's almost like, oh no, you could tunnel under a wall or you could fly over a wall. A wall isn't going to stop drugs from getting into this country. People need their fix, because look who our president is. They're going to need their fix. Find a way to get it. This is absolutely 100% manufactured. Let me ask you this. Why didn't Trump get this put through when he had Republicans in the House and the Senate for 2 years? Why couldn't he get a wall then? Explain that to me. Explain how that doesn't happen. Explain to me how they couldn't repeal and replace Obamacare when they had, at the time, 6 years to plan to do that? So this isn't on the Democrats. This whole government shutdown is not on Democrats. It's on our president, because if you remember, he said that he would take the blame for it.
I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
and
I am proud, and I'll tell you what,
disagree.
I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work.
And then he lied and puts it on the Democrats.
The federal government remains shut down for one reason, and one reason only, because Democrats will not fund border security.
It's almost like all this guy does is lie. It's almost like this guy just makes stories up. This is 100% manufactured. Do people get killed by illegal immigrants? Sure, but you know what? The number is higher amongst American citizens. I'm so sick of this idea that we have to exploit parents that are grieving and have dead children, shovel them out on TV, push them up on TV and say, look, their kid died from illegal immigrants. It's got to be a crisis. Despite the fact that it could have been any citizen. No, we have to push a narrative that just isn't true, and we have to shut a government down and force people to not make money for almost a month now because the child that we call our president doesn't have his wall. It blows my mind that people can honestly believe what comes out of this guy's mouth. 2 years of having the House and the Senate, and they couldn't get a wall passed. And now this is the hill they want to die on? I can get behind a government shutdown over health care. I can't get behind a government shutdown about some bogus border security. I want a legitimate source to protect these people. And I don't want to protect us and to protect the good people that are trying to get in here because, I don't know, they're starving and they're trying to actually get asylum and they need help and they want to believe in this idea. I want those people protected. I want us protected. And to think that we have to shut our government down to build a dumb wall that I thought Mexico was going to pay for. No, it was a joke. Nobody ever believed that. Yeah, really? I think a lot of people did. This is a great example of what is wrong with politics. This is a prime example of what is so wrong with our two-party system. Because Republicans want to go out and immediately sign up, and not all. There's still some never-Trumpers. But you have Republicans that are solely blaming this whole situation on Democrats. And you got Democrats blaming this all on the president. This is a prime example. Why should the government be shut down? Legitimately asking. Who thought that this was a good idea? And then you got him saying months, maybe years. Years. So you're not going to pay anybody for years? People aren't going to be able to keep their house. People aren't going to be able to eat. But it's okay. We need a border wall. And the whole irony of this situation, because of the partial government shutdown, you have the cases that see asylum, the immigration courts, they're not in session. So the people are still here because the government's still partially shut down. So those immigrants that you gotta get out of here, they're still here. Let's stop pretending that this is legitimately about border security. This is just about Trump trying to win a war with everybody else to get his base happy again. That's all it is. This guy doesn't care about border security. Are you insane? He just wants to keep getting his base riled up. I don't understand. I don't understand how anybody could defend this act and any of this. And the worst part is the Democrats don't even have a legitimate. They don't. You got Chuck and Nancy rolling out there looking like they're a couple of zombies. to do their rebuttal, which I don't even know if they actually watched the Oval Office address. Was it not? It seemed like it was pre-recorded just to say do what he does and get bam, 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 knock out some bullet point talking points. Now you've got Nancy Pelosi saying, hey, don't do the State of the Union address because we don't have security because the government's shut down. And she plans a trip to Afghanistan, and the president's like, well, if you want to take away my State of the Union, I'll take away your trip to Afghanistan. They can't be here to do work on the border wall because they're off in Puerto Rico. Just constant finger pointing and blaming over something we don't need. That's what I want to stress the most about this. We don't need a wall. There is no crisis. It's all a lie because our president lies. That's all he's good for. He can't even get food served right. He has to go get fast food for Clemson. Congratulations. Doing everybody a favor, beating up on Alabama. Here's a double quarter pounder. And then people trying to justify that. It's like, come on. That is the definition of a cheap president. It's $3,000 of his own money, but he is the definition of a cheap president. I can't get these guys food because I'm the reason why the government's shut down. But I'll buy him some McDonald's for $3,000. Whew. Makes me sick. It really does. It just, the more I talk about him and the more I talk about this government shutdown, the angrier I get. And maybe that's why I shouldn't be doing politics. Because the hypocrisy, because of the lies, the stupidity from everybody involved. It's ridiculous.